Got sued. Not a surprise, but yeah. You remember Mark Alexis Cote, the head of franchise for Assassin's Creed, the guy who looked us dead in the eye and tried to sell us the absolute fermented garbage that was the concept of Assassin's Creed Shadows, the guy who admitted proudly, might I add, that half the devs working on that game had never made an Assassin's Creed game before. Yeah, that guy. Well, guess what? The corporate machine he spent 20 years glazing just chewed him up and spit him out. And now, he wants blood. He wants money. And he is dragging Ubisoft's dirty laundry into the public square for all of us to see. This isn't a rumor. This is a lawsuit, a $1.3 million lawsuit. Listen to this. Former Assassin's Creed boss Mark Alexis Cote has filed a claim with the Superior Court of Quebec for a total of $1.3 million in compensation and damages against Ubisoft. $1.3 million. Let that sink in. This guy isn't asking for lunch money. He isn't asking for a pat on the back. He is coming for the throat. And why? Because Ubisoft, in their infinite wisdom, thought they could pull a fast one. But it gets better. Oh, it gets so much better. Because we all remember the PR spin, don't we? We remember the press release. Oh, Mark is moving on to new adventures. We wish him well. Absolute horseshit. The file comes months after Ubisoft announced that Mark Alexis Cote left the company voluntarily, a claim which Cote later denied, stating that he was asked to step aside from the company. Look at the audacity of that lie. This is what I'm talking about when I say these corporations think you are stupid. They think I am stupid. They looked at the public, looked at their investors, and said, yeah, the guy who ran the biggest franchise in the company for 20 years just decided to bounce. Totally his idea. Nothing to see here. And Cote, to his credit, he didn't take that lying down. He went straight to LinkedIn, the most corporate, soulless place on the internet, and dropped a nuke. In a lengthy LinkedIn post, Cote said, "Many of you have expressed surprise that I would choose to leave Assassin's Creed after so many years, especially given the passion I still hold for it. The truth is simple. I did not make that choice. That is corporate speak for they fired my ass." But they didn't just fire him, did they? No. Firing him means they have to pay him. Firing him means severance. Firing him means admitting that Assassin's Creed Shadows was such a catastrophic generational fumble that heads had to roll. So what did they do? They tried to constructive dismissal him. Stay with me. I'm going to teach you some legal jargon so you can sound like the smartest guy in the Discord. Constructive dismissal. It's when your boss wants you gone but doesn't want to pay your unemployment. So they move your desk to the basement. They take away your team. They give you a job counting paper clips. They make your life so miserable that you quit. And then they say, hey, he quit. We don't owe him a dime. Listen to Cote's own words. He later continued, "But I also owe it to my teams, past and present. To say this plainly, I did not walk away. I stayed at my post until Ubisoft asked me to step aside. He refused to quit. He made them pull the trigger. And now he's lawyered up." The new report from CBC Radio Canada states that Cote is now taking Ubisoft to court, claiming $1.3 million in severance pay and moral damages. Moral damages. I love that. That is a distinctly Canadian legal flex. In America, we sue for emotional distress. In Quebec, moral damages. He's saying, you didn't just fire me, you insulted my honor. You dragged my reputation through the mud. And honestly, he's not wrong, whether you like the guy or not. And believe me, I have roasted his vision for Assassin's Creed until the cows came home. You cannot deny that Ubisoft tried to screw him. But here is where the tea gets scorching hot. We finally have the details of how they tried to push him out. We know about the Vantage Studios deal. We know Tencent dropped $1 billion to save Ubisoft from bankruptcy. And we know that money came with strings attached. One of those strings? Getting rid of the old guard. According to the report, Cote was told during a management meeting in late summer 2025 that Ubisoft's new subsidiary with Tencent was looking to find a head of franchise, which was a position not offered to Cote. Instead, Cote was offered the position of head of production, which would have seen him reporting to someone else. Do you hear that? Do you understand the level of disrespect? You are the vice president. You are the executive producer. You are Mr. Assassin's Creed. You've been there for 2 decades. You built this house. And suddenly, Tencent walks in with their checkbook, buys the furniture, and tells you, hey buddy, we're hiring a new head of franchise. It ain't you. You can be head of production. You can report to the new guy. That is them saying, you are cooked. It's an unacceptable downgrade. It's an ego death. They wanted him to bend the knee, to take a lower title, to lose his power, and to smile about it. And when he didn't, when he refused to be a good little corporate drone, they got weird. They got abstract. The lawsuit states that in September, the position to lead a creative house with abstract outlines was offered. After lengthy negotiations, Ubisoft reportedly asked him to make a decision on the changes, to which Cote formally demanded that the company pay him severance. A creative house with abstract outlines? What the hell does that even mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means a fake job. It means sitting in an empty office, staring at a wall. It means we don't have a job for you, but we can't fire you yet, so go sit in the corner and think about abstract outlines until you get bored and leave. It's busy work. It's a punishment. It's the corporate equivalent of putting a dunce cap on him. And Cote saw right through it. He's been in the game too long. He knows the playbook because he probably used it on people beneath him for years. That's the irony. He knows the snake because he was the snake. So he calls their bluff. He says, no, I'm not taking your fake job. I'm not taking your demotion. Pay me my money. Give me my severance. Let me leave with a check. And how does the friendly, family-oriented Ubisoft respond? How does the company that preaches inclusivity and respect handle a 20-year veteran asking for what he's contractually owed? They ghosted him. Then they locked the door. In response, Ubisoft reportedly told him not to show up for work as planned on October 13 and to continue his reflection period until the company responds to its formal notice. The next day, Ubisoft announced via a press release and internal emails that Cote was leaving his position voluntarily to explore new opportunities. Are you kidding me? Reflection period? What is this? Kindergarten? Did they put him in timeout? Go to your room, Mark. Think about what you've done. Think about shadows. Think about the stock price. And then the knife in the back. The next day, October 14th. While he's sitting at home reflecting, waiting for a response to his formal legal notice, they send out a press release. Mark is leaving voluntarily. He's so excited to explore new opportunities. We love him. They fired him by press release. They fired him publicly, lied about the reason, and cut off his access, all to avoid paying the severance package. This is bad faith defined. This is breach of contract. This is exactly why he is suing for $1.3 million, plus the moral damages, plus the removal of his non-compete clause. Oh, did I forget that part? Yeah, they fired him, refused to pay him, lied about him quitting. Of course they didn't comment. What are they gonna say? Yeah, we tried to screw him and got caught. No, their lawyers are currently screaming into pillows. Look, I'm not here to defend Mark Alexis Cote as a creative visionary. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The direction he took Assassin's Creed was straight trash. The RPG bloat, the microtransactions, the Infinity Hub live service nonsense, that was him. The Disaster of Shadows, a game that tried so hard to be modern that it forgot to be good. That happened on his watch. If he was fired for incompetence, if he was fired because the game sucked, I'd be standing here applauding. I'd be saying good riddance. But that's not what this is. This is about a billion-dollar corporation trying to circumvent the law. This is about Tencent coming in, looking at the books and saying, cut the fat, I don't care how you do it. Ubisoft is bleeding out. They've lost billions, their stock is in the toilet, they are desperate, and when companies get desperate, they get nasty, they start eating their own. They looked at Cote's salary, probably massive, and said, we can't afford that severance. So they tried to bully him into quitting. And it's exactly what I expect from Ubisoft in 20. And let's look at the bigger picture here. This isn't just about one guy. This is the death rattle of the old Ubisoft. The Ubisoft that made Splinter Cell. The Ubisoft that made Prince of Persia. That company is dead. It's gone. What we have now is a zombie, piloted by Tencent, flailing around trying to survive. They are closing studios like Ubisoft Halifax. They are laying off hundreds of people at Massive. And now they are decapitating their leadership and refusing to pay the bill. If they treat their vice president like this, if they treat the head of franchise like this, how do you think they treat the junior devs? How do you think they treat the QA testers? They treat them like dirt. This lawsuit? It's going to expose everything. Discovery is going to be a nightmare for Ubisoft. Emails, memos, the abstract outlines of the fake job. It's all going to come out. And I hope Cote burns the house down on his way out. I hope he gets his $1.3 million. Not because I like him, but because I hate what Ubisoft has become. Let them fight. Let the suits tear each other apart. Maybe, just maybe, from the ashes of this dumpster fire, something decent can eventually rise. But I doubt it. What do you think of the filing? Leave your thoughts on all this and more down in the comments. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Are you Team Cote? Are you Team Ubisoft? Or are you like me, Team Burn It All Down?